Hi, thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm really excited to share with you our case studies and also talk with you about the headless e-commerce with Shopware, or if you prefer a more tiny word, composable. And so, first of all, I want to say thank you to all the Shopware community and also to the Shopware developers that work every day on the platform. And so I have the opportunity to be here now, but behind me there's a team that worked hard every day in the last 4 years with me and for achieve our goals. But let's introduce myself. So I am Matteo Bonini, and I am the CTO of Vodka, a small agency in Florence. We are 15 people, 15 people, yeah. And so my role in Vodka is manage the front-end development team. But also my priority is to ensure that the projects are managed efficiently and also choose the best technology to meet the best technology solution to meet the client requirements. So 4 years ago, I was the one who chose Shopware and for my agency, and now I'm here to close the cycle. But let me introduce some information about our client. Amen is a company based in Arezzo near Florence that produce some fashion jewelry. And maybe one year and a half ago, they call us because they need a complete replatform of their e-commerce because they have an old e-commerce solution, custom solution. And also because they don't have any tool to manage the product information and also for trace the customer behaviors. So, in other words, they navigated without a plan. But let me show you the final result. I hope you like it. So, as you can see, there's a lot of feature inside this project. And after the first meet with the client, we need some time to create a solution that using some different tools, and which I'll show you. Stuck. OK. Obviously, it's based on Shopware for the e-commerce part. But also, we use Next.js like a front end. And we use also Vercel for the hosting all the front end part. We also use Boost like for hosting all the Shopware stuff and also for the image. Mexal is an ERP, an old solution that many companies use in Italy, but it's very old ERP e-commerce solution. We also use Salesforce like CRM, Pimcore for the product information, Algolia for the search engine inside the front end, and Kapla for the shipping management system. So maybe you might wonder how we use Next.js instead of Next and Shopware frontends project. But there is only one practical reason, because my team is already familiar with React. So for us, the more obvious choices is go to Next.js. And also because it's my opinion that Shopware frontends wasn't born only with Vue.js in mind. So there's a lot of package inside the project, like the API client, like the helpers, that we can utilize into our project and inspire us for the work. So now you have taken an overview of the entire project, and maybe you have also understood some reason behind our choices. And I go to the next slide and talk about the first topic. Is a UX UI topic. So the client wanted to be able to customize all the front end. So us to give our clients freedom, to give a complete freedom for managing all the communication, we implemented a modular grid system in the front end, and where each row can contain some components that we are previously mapped into the front end. And all this solution is managed from the backend with the shopping experience. So it's very integrated with the e-commerce platform. Additionally to this, we use also a plugin. This plugin is a CMS factory, and you find this plugin in the plugin store. We use this plugin because we need to create some custom components that are not available in the standard version. So we use this plugin for this. But now let's dive to the next slide and look a deeper look to the architecture. So this is a simplified version of the entire architecture, but you see there's a lot of actors and a lot of components. Obviously, we have Shopware in the center, but we have Mexal for the ERP, Salesforce, Algolia, the front end, Pimcore. So there is a lot of connection between them. So if you try to follow the life cycle of the product information, we see that the product information starts from the ERP, where we can find the SKU and the availability of the products. And all this information goes to PIM, where the client can add some other information, like the description, like image, and many other stuff. And after this, all the information comes to Shopware and spread out to all the actors, maybe at the same time. So goes to Algolia, Salesforce, and obviously on the front end. And you can understand that for us, it's very important to find a solution that spread this information in the least amount of time as possible. So after some research, we find this solution, and I define in one of the first call that I had with some Shopware guy, our game changer. But what is this game changer? Is the app system. Because with the app system, we are freedom to develop the extension in any language we want. And because it's really simple to implement this extension. And with this extension, we are able to intercept a lot of events. And these events are API first. But why this last thing is so important? Because if you look to the next slide, we see the solution that we found was to implement a serverless API layer that we manage directly from the Next.js project. Because my team is a front-end team, and so for us, this is the best solution. And now I can explain all the cycles. So on the right, you see Shopware with its core and also a block. I call this app extension. And this block represents all the application that we have created. So in which, in our case, is very simple. Because they simply define a webhook, and this webhook is associated with certain events. And when an event occurs, like a product change or a customer subscription or many other events in the platform, triggers a webhook, and this webhook calls our serverless API. And this API are instantiated only at that moment, perform some tasks, some action, and spread out the information, and then shut down. So I think that this solution is a really practical solution and a really cost-effective solution. So we implement all the integration of the platform with this technique. And in the next slide, I show you some code, but it's very little. This is an example of our app. So there is very simple, and you look in the line 23 that the tag webhooks, and the 3 lines are the webhook definition. So it's simple. They have a name, that the URL that is one of our serverless function, and the definition of the event. So customer written, order written, or product written. And the other slide is the folder tree that we find in our project for the next project, for the Amen project. So it's simple and represent. If you want to create one serverless function, you just put this function into the API folder under pages, and Next.js do all the work for us, and the API gateway go live. So I think this is very, very simple to manage. I want to go next to the next topic, and is the ring sizer. But before explaining you what is the ring sizer, I want to tell you more context. So Amen, our client, had a problem. And this problem is they had a lot of requests of refund. So, but why? Because often people enter on the product page and place an order, a ring order, thinking that they have a prince's hand, but the reality is so different because their hands are more similar to a beer. So then when the package arrived to the client home, they try the ring and then call Amen because the size is not correct. And Amen so asked to find a solution for this problem, and this is what I find. So. OK, so as you can see, this is a web application. But this application is built following the composable logic. So we think about this application like a standalone web application that operates parallel behind the e-commerce. And it is initialized only when a user enters in a product page and click or scan a QR code. And at this moment, thanks to our serverless function, we retrieve all the information that for the specific product and pass it to the web application. So after this operation, the user can place the ring on their phone, take the measure with a slide, and then select the correct size and return to the commerce. And so this solution only in 1 month after the site is go live 1 month ago, decreased the refund about 15%. So for now, we are really happy for this solution. And so in the next slide, we are nearing to the end. And so I want to share you some thoughts. So the first thought is the headless for us. I have no doubt that for us means freedom, because we are being able to use many tools and integrate them using the language we know well. So we are able to creating a really cost-effective architecture. But however, I think is also important, don't confuse this freedom with greater saving for the client. Because all this tool, all this integration in a long-term run means more maintenance cost. And you need this focus in mind. And the second thought is, I have been following Matt Billman, the CEO of Netlify, since 2016, and when he introduced the Jamstack Manifesto. And so from 2016 at now, I follow many projects that use headless, and both from e-commerce and also for content-based e-commerce. So, but now I still believe that this approach is only suitable for large-scale websites, because the cost it generates are hardly sustainable for smaller websites. So I finish, and that's all. I'm here, and if you want to talk me some answer, I can try to answer you with my 5-year-old English, but I try.
Thank you, Matteo. And now we have time for a longer Q&A session. So everyone who has a question, please ask them now instead of later for networking. So you have the time for other things to network on. So is there a question? Please raise your hand. Don't be shy. There's one. Wait a minute for the mic. Try.
Okay, jetzt geht's. All right, thank you for your talk, first of all. That was very nice. I've got one question. So have you used server-side rendering in your project, and possibly also incremental site or static regeneration or something like that? I would be curious to know.
OK, for this website, we don't use, but I work in other projects that we use. But I think that if I use Next.js with Shopware, I have no problem with the response of the API. So in this website, I have a large amount of product, and we don't find any problem. But in some other case, we use, and yeah, for this project, we don't use, but it's possible.
Does that answer your question? Okay. Is there another question? If so, please raise your hand. I don't see anyone right now. I hope it's not because you're shy. No question is regarded as dumb. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Okay, then if there is no question, I would like to thank you again. And I think you are here still the whole day, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.